Now, my take on last night's unbelievable, shocking result. USA not in the World Cup in Russia 2018. First and foremost, Taylor Twellman, well done, my man. Well done. Way to speak from the heart. Way to speak transparently. Way to speak honestly. That should have been said long time ago. Hey, listen, I'm a proud Canadian, so who am I to put my nose into the business of U.S. soccer business comings and goings? I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to give you my few thoughts on how everything unfolded last night and what went through my mind today in a Canadian angle, a Canadian spin on it. First and foremost, last night, each and every player, everyone should take a look in the mirror. Everyone should take a responsibility in what took place. Bruce Arena, Sunil Gulati, all the players, each and every one of them should look in that mirror and be hugely disappointed. They will have nightmares forever. They will be remembered, I believe, as the players that decided that once and for all there should be a new soccer revolution in the US of A. Things that needed to be changed long time ago will change now because of this disastrous failure. Hey, look, MLS started many, many years ago. It was specifically started for the American player. And that was the reason why it was started. It has done some good things for the American player. But yesterday, you know who has benefited over the last 10 to 15, 20 years since MLS has kicked off? And a lot of them were smiling and jumping for joy and in tears yesterday? The Panamanians players who have come to MLS, Costa Rican players, Mexican players, Jamaican players, Honduran players, Trinidad and Tobago players. They have all come up to MLS to earn a living and play. And they have all benefited and gone back to their national teams and had success. Small countries like Trinidad and Tobago have gone to a World Cup. Honduras have gone to a World Cup. Now Panama are going to a World Cup. Jamaica have gone. All of them have really benefited from MLS. So, hey MLS, hey Don Garber, it's time to wake up. It's a great wake-up call for you, Commissioner, also to look in the mirror and say, what can I do that this can never happen again for our players, for our country? Simply this. Here's a couple things I would do. Make sure that a player under 20 or under 21 American player must absolutely start for each and every club. Absolutely start. That is vital. That's important so that that young player can play against the best competition possible. Start to limit the foreign players that are coming in there. Now, transfer it over to Canada and CPL. This is vitally important, the people that are in charge and making the big decisions in CPL land. Make sure that the Canadian player comes first. The Canadian coach comes first. You want to sprinkle in a few foreigners that are going to help the process at the beginning, no problem. But remember, CPL is a vision, is something that was started to help the Canadian player have success so that Canadian coaches can coach and that these players from CPL can move on to the national team. Something else also that I came away with last night, and this is important, Canada, and it might also include the US of A on this point that I'm going to make. All the provinces, all the states in all over Canada and the US of A, put your egos aside. Start doing what's right for the player. Start developing players to go on for the national team. Stop working in silos. Stop working against each other. How about working all together? The people that are running provincial associations and people that are running state associations down south, think first and foremost about your country and about the development of your player. Don't think about anything else. Nothing else that matters. Only the player. And the player first. Okay? Also, youth clubs, pro clubs, there's a huge disconnect. There's a divide, I believe, between the national bodies of both countries and the youth clubs and academies and the pro teams. You should all be together in this family, united, in harmony, discussing, debating, analyzing, helping one another. Perfect example, Iceland. Other examples worldwide that we're starting to see more and more. The people are all on the same page because they want to see their national team do well. Look at the small country of Portugal. Look at the success they have had recently. Look at the big countries that have suffered recently in the last number of years. Brazil, Italy. Things have to change in Canada. And I'm talking to you out there. You know who you are. The parents, the coaches, the technical director, the presidents of clubs and academies. Stand up. Speak for what is right. Stand up to the people that you know that are doing you wrong and that are guiding you in the wrong direction. Once and for all, stand up. Stop being sheep. Lead the way. Lead the way. Last night was a wake-up call for all U.S. soccer supporters, U.S. clubs and academies. But it's also a wake-up and a reminder to Canada. Guess what? Don't be throwing stones down south because we haven't been to the World Cup since '86. We have many, many more issues. Many issues. The USA, sure, they've got issues, but they've gone to the dance many, many more times before we have. So we here up in Canada, start doing what's right for the player. Stop working in silos against each other. And you, CSA, let's go. Let's go. Let's get things going. CPL is vital. CPL is important. CPL is something that every youth club, every academy player should look up to play for one day. And MLS, you've done a great job for a lot of players in Canada and in MLS since you've started. But now you have to do a better job. Start stopping a lot of these foreigners from coming into your league, MLS. And CPL, that's a lesson for you. That's a lesson. Be careful because you have to take care of your own Canadian player. You have to take care of your own American player. Or else, look at what happened last night. Look at what happened last night. Panama, Honduras, they're off to the World Cup. Panama is, Honduras is in a playoff situation. Again, I beg you here in Canada, I'm sick and tired of all the naysayers and the fighting at the grassroots level. You're all sheep out there. I've heard you speak. And the time right now is to stand up once and for all. I'm sick and tired of some of these youth clubs out there that are filling their bank accounts, some, not all, and not doing what is right. Start thinking about the player first and foremost, and then the coach. Help them. Mums and dads pay the freight. They have to have a say. And to all those out there that are on a board position, and if you don't understand the game and you don't understand what the root of the problem is, why bother being on a board? If you out there that are not on a board position and you can make real change, that you know what the problems are, get involved. Get involved. Because there's too many people out there on boards that don't have a clue. And they're on boards because of personal agendas or maybe something that they believe that is not right, maybe a small little area, and they've been elected to be on that position. We need change up here in Canada. Look what happened down there in the US of A. We need change up here in Canada once and for all. We need all on board. Enough with the passengers. CSA, start doing work. Start doing a lot more work. Let's go. I've supported you and I will support you. But we need you out there doing the work you need to do. All these provincial bodies that run these provincial championships, I don't care about them. I really could care less about even the national championships. You know what I care about? Producing and developing players to go and play overseas in the top leagues, to play in MLS, to play in CPL. I don't care how many provincial, national championships you've won. At the end of the day, I care about that player that is going overseas to Europe. And maybe that youth club gets some money for doing a great job. Maybe that academy gets some money for doing a great job. That's what I care about. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. Smell those roses and start saying, you know what? I can make a difference. I can do what I believe is important for the game in my state, in my province. I need to rise up. I need to help. I need to make a difference. And to the people, you know who you are. In those offices that are arrogant, egotistical, ignorant, and think that I have all the answers. I'm important. Don't worry, let me lead you away. Shut the flip up. Take a back seat and have a look in the mirror and say, you know what? Maybe I don't have the answers. Maybe I need to engage my membership. Maybe I need to listen to them. They're paying your freight. Listen to them. Come together as a family, as a unit, instead of bickering and fighting one another and going at each other for all these different issues. Let's put the player first, our country first. Not trophies, medals. I don't care about that. Not even scholarships anymore I care about. I care about, first and foremost, developing players to go on to play for pro clubs in Europe, MLS, CPL, and then go to the national team. That's what I care about. What do you care about out there?